Welcome, crypto fam, to number one daily Bitcoin pod. In today's show, I'll be sharing the latest technical analysis, as well as breaking news. U.S. inflation falls to 2.4%. Higher than expectations. We'll also be discussing the latest from Max Kaiser. Quoting him here, Bitcoin wasn't invented, it was discovered. In fact, he actually shared that back in 2019. We'll also be discussing Trump crypto project proposes Aave link in government proposal. That's right. We'll also be discussing Ryan Salami requests self-surrender date to be pushed to December 7th. That's one of the executives of FTX. We'll also be discussing Ethiopia signing on 600 megawatts of energy to supercharge their Bitcoin mining. Game theory, let's go. We'll also be discussing Peter Schiff tells Michael Saylor to take a $4.3 billion loan to buy U.S. government Bitcoin. Interesting that Peter Schiff is giving financial advice to Michael Saylor. Also, analyst Jamie Coutts says one Bitcoin metric is bullish. Reversal predicts a Bitcoin will hit between $140,000 and $184,000 this cycle. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this plus so much motherfucking more in today's show. If you're new to the channel, important to smash the likes, go ahead, subscribe, hit the bell icon, turn on all notifications to receive daily premium crypto newsletters every single day, just like this. Today is pod episode 1783. I'm your host, JV. It's October 10th, 10/10, and it's 11:07 a.m. here. We're streaming liver than, or I should say earlier than usual. But nonetheless, fam, welcome everyone just joining the stream. Let's kick it off with our market watch. We have Bitcoin trading at 60,700 on Coin360, down roughly 2% on the day. We have Ether in the red, Solana, the majority of the alts in the red, minus XRP, modestly in the green, up 1%. And checking out coinmarketcap.com. The current crypto market cap sits at $2.11 trillion. The Bitcoin market cap sits at $1.199 trillion, just shy of 1.2. We have roughly 68 billion worth of volume in the past 24 hours. Bitcoin dominance is at 56.6%. Ether dominance 13.6%. And checking out top 100 crypto gainers past 24 hours, we got Uniswap leading the pack, up 12%. We have Ohm up 5%. And we have IGN up 1%, very modestly, as the majority of the alts are correcting in the red. And if you're bullish on any alts, let me know in that live chat. In between the articles, I'll be reading those comments out loud. And checking out crypto bubbles on the daily, safe to say 85, even more, maybe 95% of the market in the red and correcting. And zooming out on the month, wow, whatever Nero is, looks like a new Dogecoin meme coin. It's up 4,000%. Interesting. But the majority of the market for the month is in the green. And checking out the crypto greed and fear index, today we're at 39 fear. Yesterday, 49. Last week at 37. And last month at 33 in fear. And checking out the time chain calendar. And for those that don't know, Satoshi never referenced blockchain. He always referred to it as the time chain. And if you don't know, now you know. We're currently on block 865,039. There's 184,961 blocks yet to go into the next halving. And you can currently exchange $1 US. You know, that monopoly tulip bulb mania fiat currency for 1,641 sats. So stack sats accordingly. And there you go, yo. But anyways, let's continue with today's technical analysis. Check out some of the live charts where the Bitcoin price action is likely to take us next. Headline reads, Bitcoin capitulation incoming as liquidity risks sub 50,000 Bitcoin price. Say it ain't so. Also be pulling up the live charts when we're done reading this article. Bitcoin threatens a trip to long-term range lows before the full bull takes over the price action. That's right. Analyst Cole Garner says he sees capitulation incoming for the Bitcoin market. That's right. Bitcoin still stands to gain from global liquidity trends, but what comes first might shock the average trader. Investigating the current on-chain phenomena, Garner flagged liquidity declining for the short term, which could be reflected in the Bitcoin price performance. Liquidity on chain is tightening. I smell capitulation incoming. Let me know if you agree, disagree with the analyst. A common prerequisite to a full bull. It's time. We're in October. Accompanying the chart shows, amongst other things, a print of the Liquid Vision Index measuring global central bank liquidity. Quoting him here, liquidity on chain starts at its source, the central banks. Liquid Vision is my lens. It is prime for the buy signal. If China doesn't ring that bell, Fed or Japan should do the job. But more downside could come first. Now, the post reference a recent policy shift from China's central bank and the U.S. Fed. It's interesting how they're always in alignment there. Having unveiled a significant round of economic stimulus last month, the former disappointed the risk asset traders this week by holding off on continuation. Garner additionally pointed to a declining supply of the stables, specifically the two largest US dollar stablecoins by market cap, Tether USDT and USD Coin USDC, ranged lows before the 100,000, total facepalm. But we have a higher high in place, bullish market structure, even at the range lows and peak fear, still a bullish structure. And these shows Bitcoin can drop all the way below 50,000 according to this Analyst's chart. I feel that very unlikely, but anything is possible, so we've got to keep all scenarios open to possibilities. Meanwhile, Bitcoin kicks the can in October, not so fast, because typically it's the last 2 weeks of October, which have the parabolic rip, and we're still only in the second week, so got to keep it 100 there. Now, Peter Brandt says he sees Bitcoin reaching 135,000 within the next year, provided crucial supports hold. Let me know if you agree, disagree with the old man. And checking out some of the other breaking news before I pull up some of the live chart action, Jackson. Breaking news, U.S. inflation falls to 2.4%. Yeah, sure, whatever you guys say. Higher than expectations. Markets have been reacting accordingly. We also have the Bitcoin therapist point out this Bitcoin MicroStrategy bull market multiplier is absolutely insane. We're going higher. And you can see here with this multiplier, it takes Bitcoin from frickin' 75 Gs, which is ultimately price discovery, to all the way to 500,000 based on this NAV multiplier. And it shows you the final MicroStrategy stock price alongside the Bitcoin price action. According to High Priest of Bitcoin, Max Kaiser, Bitcoin wasn't invented. It was discovered. He shared that back in 2019. And let's pull up some of the live charts. Let's check this out. This is via TradingView via Coinbase. This is the 1 hour. Let me switch the scene so it's clean for you guys. You should be able to see clear here. 60,700 is where we're currently at. We do have a bullish target on the hourly chart sitting at $66,400. Zooming out, let's check out the 4 hour. And the 4 hour chart also has that blue target at 81,000, and we do have a bear target sitting at 41,000, and we're pretty much right in the middle of between those two price targets at the moment. And checking out the daily chart. The daily, you can see we had a big red candle close, unfortunately, for yesterday, but we still have a rising wedge formation and a bullish pennant, which are bullish scenarios. And we do have a green target for the bullish pennant sitting at 77,700. Send it. Let's get it. And we do have some bear targets, one in the pink at 47.7. And we do have a super bear target all the way down at 41,000. And zooming out, we'll check out the weekly. Weekly survey says Bitcoin still has that bullish cup and handle pattern sitting at $124,000. Still in play here for Q4, in my humble opinion. Let me know if you agree, disagree. And checking out the monthly. No particular targets, but we had 7 months of sideways trading action, Jackson. And let's see if we can break out of the sideways trading this October as we continue to pump it up. Regarding Trump crypto project proposing an Aave link to governance proposal. That's right. The Trump crypto project, World Liberty Financial, submitted a governance proposal to Aave, confirming plans to build on the decentralized finance platform. In the October 9th proposal, World Liberty Financial said it wants to launch its service as an Aave v3 instance on the Ethereum mainnet, with the protocol acting as the backend to the platform. It floated, giving Aave DAO, a group of Aave token holders overseeing the protocol, 20% of the fees it generates and 7% of the supply of the platform's governance token, which is WLFI. And here's the official post from WLFI, World Liberty. The project, backed by former President Trump, says running as an Aave instance would boost liquidity for the stables, Ether, and wrap Bitcoin it plans to host while expanding Aave's user base. The proposal revealed that World Liberty Financial would, at least initially, allow deposits in Ether and WBTC, along with the stablecoins USD Coin and Tether USDT. The project also proposed to use the same reserve factor system as the main Aave instance and a trustless smart contract to set up the revenue split. Aave DAO members can discuss the potential or proposal before voting on it. WLFI token holders who govern the World Liberty Financial platform must also approve the proposal separately. In an October 10th post today, World Liberty Financial said the proposal aligns perfectly to create an easily accessible DeFi user experience. It added, if the Aave integration is successful, it plans to expand plan the Ethereum Layer 2 blockchain scroll, as they detail here on X. Full details about the platform has been gradually revealed. Trump had previously made several cryptic posts about World Liberty Financial, and the project has suggested it wants to spread the use of the US dollar, peg stablecoins. And in a live stream last month, Trump on X was expected to share the full details of the family crypto project, which is headed by his sons Eric and Donald Trump Jr. Still, he barely discusses crypto in the 45-minute talk, which came a day after the second attempt on his life in Florida, and didn't mention the project. The World Liberty Financial team later revealed details about the WLFI token. A leaked white paper said the project would allow users to store money in a digital wallet, offer a credit account system, borrow or lend cash to others, and use tokens to invest in assets like crypto. It also said the platform would be an open source and provide a similar borrowing and lending service to Do Finance, with 4 people who helped build the DeFi protocol on the team. Do Finance did lose $1.8 million in July after a flash loan attack. Jesus, be careful out there with these DeFi protocols. They seem to be honeypots for hackers, as I hear a lot of stories of 100 million siphoned from DeFi platform XYZ. And so let me know your thoughts nonetheless regarding Trump and WLFI and their partnership with Aave. Next headline reads: self-surrender from Ryan Salami, former FTX executive. He wants to push the date to December 7th, give him another couple of months of freedom here before he's locked down for several years. Former FTX Digital Markets co-CEO Ryan Salami, and I am aware his last name isn't pronounced Salami, but it looks that way, and I just say it. That's just a thing I do, so ignore that if it bothers you. Scheduled to report a federal correctional institution for a 7.5-year sentence. Damn, 7.5 years. Crazy. Asked the judge to delay his self-surrender date by roughly 2 months. In the October 9th filing in the U.S. District Court for the Southern District in New York, Salami's lawyer requested to be allowed to serve his sentence starting December 7th rather than October 11th. Judge Lewis Kaplan granted a continuance in July after Salami reported being mauled by German Shepherd on June 29th. Damn. K9 unit. The medical information related to Salami's request to push back his self-surrender date was redacted, but included a statement from a Virginia physician. According to the filing, the former FTX executive required continuing medical treatment before reporting to prison. So he's actually got an excuse. Salami pleaded guilty to conspiracy to make unlawful political contributions and defraud the Federal Election Commission in September 2023, roughly a year after the FTX collapse. He was the second individual named in the same indictment as Sam Bankman-Fried to receive prison time after the former FTX CEO conviction. Former Alameda Research CEO, Sweet Caroline, dun, 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 sentenced after Bankman-Fried and Salami only received 2 years as she was so cooperative. Now, excited about prison? After Judge Kaplan sentenced Salami to 90 months in prison in May of 2024, Salami returned to his X account, regularly posting about U.S. politics, making claims about his role in the FTX downfall. He suggested that prison would be an exciting experience. I don't know about all that, but very optimistic young man. And he was honestly not worried about going. Probably because he's never been to prison before. But on October 9th, the filing did not mention Salami's partner, Michelle Michelle Bond, 007, with whom he has a child. In August, prosecutors indicted Bond in a separate case in which he faces multiple charges related to campaign finance violations. She pleaded not guilty and was free on bail at this time. Now, it's unclear whether Kaplan will respond to the motion requesting the delay before Salami is scheduled to report to prison. Let me know, if you were the judge, would you allow him the additional couple of months for the alleged canine bite from the German Shepherd for him to heal before prison, or send them right away? Let me know your thoughts. I'll read them out loud shortly. Reports from the courtroom during the September 12 hearing suggest the judge was frustrated with the former FTX executive's actions, seeking to vacate his guilty plea in response to Bond's indictment and then dropping the petition. That's right. So ultimately what went down, Salami said, yeah, I'll plead guilty as long as my beautiful other half doesn't have any consequence, and they ultimately said sure. And then he did a plea deal, and then they still went after Miss Bond. And so now he's pretty pissed off with the prosecution, in which he should be. Now, Nishad Singh and Gary Wang, the final FTX executives. Let's not forget Sam Trabucco. Where'd that mofo go? He just disappeared like Waldo, and nobody can find him. Anyways, named in the initial indictment as Bankman-Fried, Ellison, and Salami are scheduled to appear for sentence hearings October 30th and 20th, respectively, of November. They both potentially face years in prison. I think Sweet Caroline got the sweetest deal. I don't think anyone else will get a deal like that, but let me know your thoughts. All right, next story. Here's the latest with Ethiopia, a Bitcoin mining hub. That's right. Ethiopia signs on a 600 megawatt of energy supercharge for the Bitcoin mining. Ethiopia is gradually becoming the Bitcoin mining center thanks to its huge hydroelectric supplies and low electricity prices. Local miners are currently consuming approximately 600 megawatts of power, with further capacity expected to come online soon. With that rise in activity, Ethiopia has emerged as one of Africa's main crypto mining destinations. Let's discuss the strategic move, shall we? And then I hear, wasn't it Russia that was starting a Bitcoin mining hub in Ethiopia? So all eyes on Ethiopia right now, fam. Ethiopia's government has taken deliberate steps to create an environment conducive to Bitcoin mining. In the recent months, it has struck deals to improve its digital infrastructure, including a $250 million partnership with West Data Group to create data mining and artificial intelligence capabilities. This falls within the larger Ethiopia strategy of embracing tech towards better economic growth, especially after China's recent ban on crypto mining, forcing many miners to look elsewhere to sustain the operations. As shared by Luxor Tech here, we participated in the second GAMA Alliance conference in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Ethiopia leads Africa for deployed hash rate of 600 megawatts, with much more hash rate to come. Luxor is looking forward and continue to support the miners in Africa with machine importation and custom firmware. Africa, let's go. Shout out Ethiopia. Now, Ethan Vera, Luxor mining co-founder, said that the electricity costing about 3.1 cents per kilowatt hour, the country is an attractive destination for miners using mid-generation hardware such as Bitmain's S1 9J Pro. And I'm sure you Bitcoin mining nerds know exactly what I'm talking about. These devices are not only inexpensive, but they consume fewer watts of electricity, which is also a vital factor in light of the current energy scenario of the country. The cold climate in Ethiopia has also reduced the need for expensive cooling equipment in the mining operations. That's why so many of the cold locations have a lot of the mining. Now, this rapidly growing industry has far-reaching economic repercussions. Analysts predict Bitcoin mining might bring to the economy $2 to $4 billion. However, it's important to highlight that around half of the country's population still doesn't have access to power. Damn. That raises questions over how the government will balance the requirements of miners and civilians. The Ethiopian government has shown excitement towards Bitcoin mining as an earning resource, but there lies a question of regulatory stability. The government is presently creating legislation to give a clearer framework for the Bitcoin operations, which may help reduce some of the difficulties the miners face. However, as demonstrated in other regions, regulatory changes can occur quickly and unexpectedly. Yet there's challenges ahead. There's positive indications related to the Bitcoin mining in the country, but issues, of course, still exist. The country's regulatory picture is still developing, and several threats of government actions create anxiety amongst many miners. And according to the experts, the present condition may seem attractive, but no one knows whether Ethiopia will continue to encourage Bitcoin mining in the long term. Moreover, as the government expects to attract international investment from this effort, it must provide all the energy needed by its citizens. However, as Ethiopia continues to upgrade its infrastructure and energize capacities, especially through projects like Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, it must maintain a balance that will benefit both the miners and civilians. I don't think Russia would be investing in a Bitcoin mining hub in Ethiopia if it wasn't a very viable, option. And I think it is due to the, as mentioned, cold weather. You don't need to have the cooling equipment. Also, the electricity is dirt cheap. And also, it's a developing country with lots of potential. As the article stated, half of Ethiopians don't even have power. And ain't no hurricane just hit there, like in Florida. That's just sad. Peter Schiff giving investment advice to frickin' Michael Saylor. You can't make this ish up. We're living in a simulation. It's official. Peter Schiff tells Michael Saylor to take a $4.3 billion loan to buy the U.S. government Bitcoin. Very interesting. Check it out. Renowned economist and outspoken Bitcoin skeptic, the one and only Peter Schiff, took to X yesterday, October 9th, to weigh in on the U.S. government's impending sale of 69,370 biddies, worth roughly $4.3 billion US dollars. This post sparked lively responses from the Bitcoin supporters and critics alike, reigniting debates over the virtual asset's value. Schiff's tweet follows a Supreme Court decision that cleared the way for the U.S. government to sell the Bitcoin it seized from the defunct Silk Road marketplace. As a result, government has announced its intention to liquidate the coins, which have been tied up in legal proceedings. Now, the Echelon Wealth co-founder, known for his preference for gold, I guess that's the name of Peter Schiff's company, Echelon Wealth, interesting, seemed to sarcastically suggest that MicroStrategy CEO Saylor should borrow $4.3 billion to buy the Bitcoin. Quoting him here, every once in a while, the government does something smart. Jesus. He quipped in what looked like a slide dig at Saylor's Bitcoin-heavy investment strategy. And since 2020, Saylor has led MicroStrategy to acquire billions in Bitcoin, a move that Shifty has previously criticized as a risky gamble. And on September 20th, the company raised over $1 billion and used part of the proceeds to buy 7,420 BTC. That purchase brought MicroStrategy's total haul to 252,220 coins, currently valued at about $16 billion. The radio personality's latest comment attracted responses from both sides of the Bitcoin debate, with advocates of crypto quick to challenge his remarks. One user, Henry Scavicinci, highlighted Bitcoin's 6 core properties: durability, portability, divisibility, fungibility, scarcity, and acceptability. That's right. They also pointed out a 7th, immutability, which is, what about unf-wittability? Hey, I made that one up, which is unique to the blockchain-based assets. This sparked further discussion, while others joining to defend a Bitcoin standing as hard money not to be F-wit. Get it right. Meanwhile, despite the wagon circling, Schiff remained firm in his stance, stating, "It's missing the most important property, actual real value." His dismissal of Bitcoin's value led to more pushback, with users Tommy Carver reminding him of the consensus of the market, currently valuing Bitcoin at over 62,000. Another user added, "The value is subjective and determined by the usefulness of an asset of those who hold it." This online exchange between the veteran stockbroker and Bitcoin supporters highlight the long-standing ideological divide between traditional gold bugs and Bitcoin maxis. Schiff had repeatedly criticized Bitcoin, arguing it lacks the tangible value of gold. Recently, he said that an obsession with Bitcoin was making investors miss out on gold's record-breaking performance. Additionally, he claimed that the crypto was helping cover policy errors made by the U.S. Fed, mistakes that could have come to light would had more attention been paid in gold's market performance. Now, anything Peter Schiff says, take with a grain of salt, obviously. I mean, his own wife, from my understanding, is a Bitcoiner. His own son is a Bitcoiner. But Peter Schiff continues to shill gold and pretend Bitcoin has no real intrinsic value because it's not like gold. That's why it's so valuable, because it is the digital formation of gold. You know what I mean? It's the digital version, a superior. It can't be confiscated. There's a reason one Bitcoin's trading above $60,000 today. And an ounce of gold, I'm going to speculate, is probably around the $2,600 an ounce, you know what I mean, mark. And that's like considered the all-time high for gold. That's the biggest price action we have ever had in gold's history over centuries. So Bitcoin, it's still a nascent asset class. It's only 15 years old and it's already 60,000 a coin. So imagine where Bitcoin will be in another 15 years. Good Lord. 6 million, 60 million. You tell me your thoughts. Now let's dive into our feature story of the day, shall we? Jamie Coutts, an analyst, says one Bitcoin metric is bullish reversal and predicts Bitcoin will hit over 140,000 this cycle. So let's break this baby down. Real Vision chief crypto analyst Jamie Coutts is saying that a major Bitcoin metric is flashing a bullish signal. Coutts says that the number of the active Bitcoin addresses is rising after a downtrend that lasted for 11 months. And according to Coutts, the number of active Bitcoin addresses as a predictive tool remains one of the most significant base level on-chain metrics. The Real Vision crypto analyst further says Bitcoin could surge to between $147,600 and $184,500 this cycle. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the analyst, quoting him here. While I anticipate Bitcoin reaching 2x to 2.5x its all-time high this cycle, current all-time high is 73.5 or 73.8. A corresponding breakout in base chain active addresses would undoubtedly validate the network valuation. And after all, Bitcoin is a global monetary network demonstrating organic network growth and adoption across all the metrics, which helps underwrite its future. And Bitcoin currently trading above 60, down roughly 16% from the all-time high of 73.8, which we achieved mid-March. Coutts also shares his outlook on the native token of Layer 1 blockchain, SUI. The Real Vision analyst says SUI, I'm pronouncing it SU, correct me if I'm wrong, which is up over 100% over the past 30 days, could continue the upward move. Quoting him here, while SU could very well correct from here. The fact that it is within striking distance to its all-time high places it near the top of the layer ones ranked on this measure. Behavioral economists often attribute this to underreaction, anchoring, or the disposition effect, wonkish terms that boil down to one simple idea. People tend to underestimate the significance of an asset making new highs, which creates a FOMO feedback loop, amplifying the price movement as more investors rush in. Let me know if you've ever heard of SU and if any of you are actually invested in it. I don't really know much about it, so please clue me in and I'll read your comments out loud. But more importantly, let me know, do you agree with the Real Vision analyst that Bitcoin will likely end up hitting a cycle peak this cycle between 147,600 and 184,500, which is ultimately 2x to 2.5x the current all-time high of this cycle? Let me know if you agree or disagree. JV's personal prediction for the cycle peak, I think, will occur next year in 2025. My cycle low bear scenario is 222,000. Shout out Bring Facts. And my bull scenario is all the way up to 750,000. So kind of in the middle, we have a $500,000 Bitcoin price action potentially in play for this cycle peak. Let me know if you agree or disagree. It's so Thank you, Diana. Appreciate the correction.